Greetings to all melanated people all around the world. Give me great joy and pleasure to be out here greeting you on this sunny and windy day, bringing a message of truth, a message of emancipation and liberation to you. Now, with all of that being said, I want to speak to you concerning the universal question. And it doesn't matter which country you've been born in or what race you belong to or what language you speak or how much money you have or how much education you have or what religion you believe in. Okay? There's only one question that each and every one of us must at some point in time ask ourselves, and we must seek the answer to this question. Some will ask themselves this question in this life and find the answer. Some would believe that they would have already found the answer and they will go on deceiving themselves. And some would live this life and basically never really ask themselves this question from a heart of truth and honesty, and because of fear they will join themselves to some religion and believe that religion to be an absolute, and they would go on and never truly find the true answer to the question. Now, this universal question of which I speak is, who am I? And the reason why I can say that is that from a very young age, I asked myself that question with tears in my eyes. Who am I? And it was at that very young, it was at a very young age, or stage, of my life, that I was given the coat of many colors, which I've come to realize the truth of the Bible, that it is not literal and it is not secular history. It is salvation story that must be interpreted psychologically, because the Bible addresses the human mind. And that the story of Abraham is all an allegory, and the story of the Christ must also be an allegory, because it is said that the Christ comes to that same lineage of Abraham. So it wasn't until I come to a certain stage in my life that I realized that when I was 17 years of age and I was given the rainbow, that it was basically the coat of many colors. Okay, so it was at that time I would have asked myself the question, who am I? And so my ambition in life was to discover who am I and who God is for myself. That's the reason why I come to realize it's a universal question. Anyone who asks themselves the question, who am I? They will also have the answer to why am I here and where do I come from and where am I going. When the question been answered, who am I? And when the question been answered, the answer must come around saying, I am. Okay? Thus, the reason why we were given Exodus 3 to show us when we come to the state of Moses, where we want to free ourselves from slavery, which is basically mental slavery, free ourselves from idolatry, free ourselves from the taskmasters, and free our brothers and sisters also. It is teaching us that the experience will bring us into asking the question. And when the answer comes, the answer will be, I am that I am. And that is the name of God from generation to generation. And that name is a memorial. And so people who read the Bible and believe that the Bible is literal and believe in a literal Exodus, okay, fail to realize that Moses means to be born. And it is teaching you, are we born into a world where we suffer from amnesia and we actually forget our true identity. We forget who we are, okay? And when we do not know our identity, we cannot come into our sonship, heirship, inheritance, or come into our divinity, okay? And that's the whole story of the prodigal, which I wasn't going to at this time, okay? So basically the Bible is your biography, okay? And that is why you will ask this, that is why this question is the universal question. And when you come to recognize and to realize that the Bible is your biography, you will come to understand when it says, I am that I am, it means that I am whatever I believe myself to be. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Okay, so basically your thoughts is what is creating your reality. And when you come to know your true identity, know who you are, you will have come into repentance, which is a radical change of thinking, a radical change of mind. Because there's only one universal, one sin, one fundamental sin in this world. And that fundamental sin is not knowing who you are. So when it says that we were born in sin and shaped in iniquity, because it says in sin and in iniquity has our mother conceive us. It is speaking about ignorance of knowing who we are. Because when we come into this world, we didn't even know that we existed. When we were at a certain age, or when you were 1 year old, you didn't even know you existed. And so everything you would have known, it was taught to you. Then they started you to say mama and daddy and papa and so on. And so you grow up and everything you know, it was being taught to you. And so you still was living in a state of ignorance. And then you go to school, it was still people was teaching you certain things. And what you would have known, what they would have taught to you. And don't forget what was taught to us in Sunday school and in preschool and so on. And so when all of that was happening to us, that was we experiencing our Egypt. And those who was bringing those things across to us and hiding our true identity from us while having us among them and wanted us to be like them. That's Pharaoh. And Moses growing up in the house of Pharaoh. And so it is showing you that sometime in our life we have to come into contact with our true I amness. The soul must find its own. We must come to our true identity before we could deliver someone else. Because the only one we're supposed to change in this world is ourselves. There's no one else to change but self. And if you want to see change, you have to be the change. So it's teaching you, you must come into the experience of knowing who you are. You must come face to face with your I amness, with your God self, with your true self, with your true creative being. Then you will have a message. Then you will be a true witness. Then you will have the rod and the staff to deliver your people. Because when you speak the word of truth, those that hear and resonate with them, they also will bring forth that life. So my brother, my sisters, none of us can escape the universal question. I want to say this to you. When I found myself, I found God. And when I found God, I found myself. And when I found God, I found love. And I've come to know that God is love, and love is God. And that is why when I look at each and every person, I see God in them. And God could be asleep or God awake. So those who won't resonate with me and will call me a man of name, I would say forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. I want to speak of Father, I'm speaking about the creative power in me. Okay? So, my brothers and my sisters, I hope what I would have just said, I hope it makes sense to you. And when you come to your true identity, you can never divorce yourself from God. For I would have witnessed many experiences, I should say, many people who call themselves Christians who would say to me that they are a child of God. And I will ask them about the child of a goat, if it won't go into an adult goat, or the child of a cattle, if it won't go into an adult cattle, or the child of a dog, if it won't go into an adult dog, and ask them who set that principle in the universe, who set that principle in the earth, who created the animals and so on and all of that, who did that. Then ask them the question, if you are a child of God, won't you grow to come to know or come to the knowledge that you are God? And they say, no, I am not God. They can't see themselves that high. So, my brother and my sisters, I think I got my message across to you. And if you are one of those persons who've been asking yourself the question, and you think what is coming out of my mouth is bringing the answer to you, there's a parable that says when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So, with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say also to you, doesn't matter who will oppose you and who will call you all manner of name, they themselves have to ask themselves this universal question, who am I? And when the answer comes, they have to be, I am that I am. I am whatever I believe myself to be. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And that is why the Bible must be interpreted psychologically, because it is not secular history, and you must not interpret it literally, because it is your biography. So with that being said, I want to thank you very much. And as I give you the sign of the eye of Matthew 6:22, he said, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And when you answer this question in your life, your light will so shine before men that will behold the good works and glorify the God that they would have seen in you. Because you don't light a candle and put it on a bushel. You bring your light before the world to see. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you, I'm out.